welcome back to another exciting episode of the SalesSheros Podcast. I'm LaDonna, your co-host, and I'm here with Angie.
Hi, everybody. Angie, and I'm very thrilled to be exploring today's fascinating topic with you all. Today, we're diving into the very, very mysterious topic of sales and artificial intelligence, otherwise known as AI.
That's right. AI is.
I don't know why I said that with like a low tone. I don't know
AI. For all those people that are skeptical of AI, that's right. AI is revolutionizing the sales landscape from lead generation to customer relationship management.
Yes. So a lot of people don't know what AI even is. I mean, we've heard about it. You see it popping up everywhere, but let's define it out for you guys. So AI encompasses a range of technologies that enable machines to perform tasks that traditionally require human intelligence, such as learning, problem solving, and decision making.
Yeah, so crazy, really, right? I mean, we knew it was coming, but we didn't know how fast and what was going to come about. So we're going to explore a little bit of that today.
I'm excited because, I'm from the 70s. I was born in the 70s. So we're going to go back a little bit. And so every time we would watch Star Wars or Battlestar Galactica, any of these older shows, we really had the robots and all the fun stuff. And didn't you think it would be really cool that we would have all this, robots and all those things? I mean, as a kid, I thought it would be really cool. And then now we're here and I'm kind of freaking out.
Yeah. I always wanted a hover. I always wanted a hover car, the little hover car on the Jetsons. I always wanted that. Yeah.
I love the Jetsons. I love the Jetsons. Well, I know that's why it's kind of fun to have this topic today because it's so relevant to sales. So let's look at when we're talking about AI and artificial intelligence. A lot of people have a lot of negative things to say. Mm-hmm. Don't use it. It's not good. It's this, that, or whatever. But today we always try to keep things positive on the Sheros podcast. So we're going to try to talk about, we are going to talk about the effects that AI has on us women as we are in sales. So the first thing that I've noticed is personalization and empathy. So I think AI tools really can empower women in sales to deliver personalized sales experiences at a scale, right? Catering to diverse customer needs and preferences, which can ultimately cultivate deeper connections and foster empathy in our interactions, building that trust and loyalty with clients, which we talk about all the time.
Yeah. So I think that piece is so cool. Efficiency and time management are a couple other things that it really can help with. In fast-paced sales environments, time is of the essence. AI streamlines repetitive tasks and automates routine processes, allowing women in sales to allocate their time more strategically, which I really love. So it frees up valuable hours to focus on high-impact activities such as relationship building and strategic planning.
Right. Speaking of the Jetsons, remember, what was it? Rosie the robot? Was that her name? Rosie the robot on the Jetsons?
Yes.
And I mean, as women, we juggle everything: home, work, finances, health. Like there's so much we juggle. Men, we love you. You juggle stuff too. But for women, we juggle so much. So if we all had Rosie the robot to help take half of our stuff off of our plate, it totally would free up those valuable hours that we get time for ourselves, our family, our career, like all the things that are important. So I'm glad that you brought that one up.
Yeah.
I want a Rosie the robot. I know that AI can make a huge difference in helping us in very insightful decision making. This is one that is also very helpful for me, is when we use AI for driven analytics, it can provide us women in sales with invaluable insights into the customer behavior, the market trends, and competitor landscapes. So I'm actively using AI today. Personal story is I'm actively using AI occasionally today because I do need to understand my customer better, and just Googling them doesn't always work. Now, let's caveat this entire podcast with, if you all are out there using ChatGPT, like I know you are, but don't want to admit it, remember that information is only good up to, I think it's 2022. There is nothing past 2022 to present day that they have information on. So if you're looking for like market trends from 2023 in cybersecurity, I'm not going to find it on an AI, on that ChatGPT AI platform.
Yes.
So we want to caveat this whole thing with that for sure, because I think that's important. But it can help us make that informed decision. It can help us identify those emerging opportunities so we can adapt our strategies in real time, which ultimately will help us sustain our growth and success.
Yeah. And I love that with ChatGPT, if it doesn't know because it's past, if the time does, it'll tell you that. It says that it doesn't have that information. So I think that's really healthy, because that feels a little bit more integrous than I was concerned about it being, right? I'm like, okay, it's being honest with me. That's full transparency. So that's good. That is good to know. I just learned that one recently because I did look for something and I was like, oh, well, I didn't realize that. And then you said it to me and I was like, yeah, I just learned that just now. Another really good one is overcoming bias and stereotypes. In traditionally male-dominated industries, women in sales may encounter bias and stereotypes that hinder their advancement. That's real. That can happen. AI offers a level playing field by focusing on meritocracy. And I had to look this up. I'm just going to be fully transparent. I was like, I don't know what that means. So it's about not it. How do I high level overview this? Because I didn't want to read the whole thing, but it doesn't have any there's no bias. So that's what that means. There's no bias. So
it keeps basically an even
level playing field. Yeah, which I love that. So and performance metrics rather than gender or background. I was like, oh my gosh, I learned something cool today.
I got to keep you on your toes when we write up these agendas.
Yeah, totally. Which can showcase your actual expertise. It can amplify your voice and help you shatter glass ceilings with confidence. And I was like, wow, that's powerful. It really, I had never thought about it in terms of that. I was like, it's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah. And it's an engine, right? So it's a technology engine. So anything that you ask it, it's pulling it from somewhere else. So somebody had to, at some point, put information into this engine, like Google, right? Somebody has to be loading in information in Google for us to be able to research and see what it is. So it's the same way. So I think, to your point, amplifying the voices, shattering ceilings, the more we are putting positive, effective things in it, I think that we can yield those positive, effective things out. So the positive effects, right? So lastly, right now we're just talking about the effects that it has on us women, the good things that it can do for us. Yeah. So for me, I've noticed it helps with the work-life balance, balancing the career aspirations that we have and our personal responsibilities. For any woman in sales, it is a challenge. And so having AI enable the flexibility with like remote work options, intelligent scheduling algorithms, it really can empower us sales professionals to achieve a greater work-life balance without compromising productivity or performance. So that ultimately will help us thrive personally and professionally. So realizing your full potential is a dynamic feeling and very inclusive in the workplace. But again, this isn't just with ChatGPT. So I want to be clear. You can't go to ChatGPT and say, tell me how to feel better, right? Tell me how to thrive in my workplace. Like, it will give you some options, but when you're using really good scheduling platforms, which there are a lot of them out there, those AI tools can really help you manage your time management and scheduling so you have balanced. I don't want you to think that AI, when we talk about AI, is just ChatGPT. There are so many AI driven platforms that affect sales that we could all be benefiting from with a little bit of research. So yeah,
I love that. Yeah, no, thank you. I love that. I'm still learning, right? I mean, I'm using it, and I'm still learning areas that I can use it for more efficiency. And so this was such a great, thank you for thinking of this topic, because it's a good one. And I know it is being talked about a lot, but you and I are both using it a bit, which is fun to talk about something. And I'm certainly not the most evolved and I don't know everything about it, but I am using it in my sales approach.
Yeah. And I think to that point, I think that the more we educate ourselves on using it, the better we will become with it.
Yes.
But again, AI, we're seeing it, so many benefits around it from the health community, right? Like from our Apple Watches and how it can, or the Aura rings that can read your oxygen stat, right? There's so many advantages. And I think AI gets a negative. I'm in the cyber world, so I see it a little different than other people. It gets a negative rap sometimes. But I do think if it's not monitored, it can get crazy. But for sales, for me, using it effectively for helping streamline my job with whether that's accounting or the things we're talking about, I think that's awesome. Like, let's go. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, I love that. So let's talk about some top sales uses, some use cases for AI tools. I use ChatGPT if I need a little help with like finessing my email, or like Angie said, like getting specific on a customer that I'm going to call on. Or even like internal use, like, hey, can give me, if I'm trying to do a quick write up on J&J for something, but I want it to be a little different than what's come out corporately, it sends me all kinds of information about my company, which is really cool. So personalization, you can dive deep into customer profiles, understanding their company and needs better, externally or internally, right? What drives my corporation? What are the things that we're talking about a lot? It puts that right at the forefront, which can lead to tailored product recommendations and more informed conversations, ultimately driving higher engagement and conversions, which is huge.
Yeah, that is huge. That is really huge because, I mean, back in our day, going back to the 70s, what did we have? Encyclopedia Britannica,
Oh my gosh, yeah,
right?
like on the shelf, literally, like all
On the
those
shelf.
books.
Your parents would put it in the living room. My parents had it in the living room. It was like
That's true.
decor, right? It was like, here is our beautiful decor that we pay however much money a month that we get a new episode every month, right? Like that was a big deal to us.
It was.
And then also the next thing that we use for information, I don't know about you, National Geographic. You had
Yeah.
a subscription and they came every month and you learned so much about the world and other countries, right? So going back to the 70s where this, outside of going to a library, this was kind of the source of information. So you couldn't just say, okay, hey, what's industry standard on X, Y, and Z, right? It will only give it to you to the date of print of that Encyclopedia Britannica. And they couldn't just add new info to it because they'd have to send out a whole new set of Britannicas to people. Could you imagine selling those back in the day? So I think it's very interesting that, and I think it's awesome that we're in the age that we have knowledge that we can use for the grace of good.
Yes.
And right at our fingertips. So ultimately, I love that you're using it. I've known about that for a while. I also use it as well. I like to use it for efficiency and time management because I cover 3 different states. I have 61 accounts. It's a lot to manage. So in the fast-paced sales environment, time is of the essence. We all know this. So AI can really streamline the repetitive tasks that I have to do by giving me some routine, some automation on the processes, allowing us to really allocate our time more effectively. So I don't know about you ladies out there, but freeing up your valuable hours to focus on the high impact activities, that to me is so crucial. And then relationship building, strategic planning. If I can have a Jiminy Cricket like AI in my ear helping me strategize these things, you know, it makes it to where we do have that level playing field. So if you're new coming into sales and you go, well, I don't have 30 years like you and LaDonna have all these years of sales. It's okay. You don't have to, right?
Yeah.
Get your community, get your AI engine. Let's go. Let's run. Let's get you building. Let's get you selling.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Another use for AI tools is understanding emotions and identifying buyer stages. Yeah, right. I know that's big. So by helping with the ability to decipher buyer emotions and accurately assess their stage in the purchasing journey, it will only enhance communication, but also increase sales effectiveness to help you meet your goals because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that's really helpful. It also can help. I mean, the stereotypical things, it does give it an even playing field, right? It really, really does. And I know you talked about that as being an advantage. But one thing I want to make sure not to miss is insightful decision making. So that, you know, AI-driven analytics can provide us in sales with valuable insights into the customer behavior, market trends, and competitor landscapes. I feel like I said that already, but I just feel like it was something that needed to be mentioned again. So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, let me skip to the last one on this. It's so informative is the point I guess I was trying to make there on the decision part of it.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm with you.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I was like, I know I said it, but in my mind, I use it competitively so much. That's the main thing I kind of use it for is that. So I apologize, y'all, if I said it again. Welcome to Speaking Angie. Welcome to the SalesSheros Podcast. You never know what's going to happen. Lastly, though, as we're talking about the use cases for it and kind of what's going on there, we've talked a little bit about the personalization, the manual tasks, Another use case, identifying the buyer. But another one is really, I'm going to let you go with it, LaDonna, is that predicting objections. Because we already kind of covered the competitive analyst side.
Okay, so predicting objections, AI-powered CRMs and research tools equip sales reps with comprehensive prospect data, enabling them to anticipate objections and tailor responses, which can enhance sales effectiveness and streamline the objection handling process.
Yeah. Do you use it for that at all?
I do. And what's interesting is because I had an incredible sales manager who taught us to use open-ended questions and to really get deep in what the customer needs quickly by using effective questions. So I use it a lot for discovery before I go into someone, especially like my end users that I haven't called on yet. It's really great for that.
Yeah. And when we're talking about objections, like you and I work corporate, so we have marketing teams, enablement teams that kind of help give us the information about our product and how to handle competitors. But for all of the Sheros out there that don't have a corporate company or any team that kind of gives them that intel, this is where AI can help you really get that leverage of predicting what are people going to not want. Why would they not want your product? And how can you come back with an objection handling on that? That's if you're new to sales, objection handling is just that. An objection comes to you about why they don't want your product. You need to be able to go back to them and say, well, here's why you need our product in a roundabout way. So I think using AI tools for objection handling is awesome. It's crucial because it's thinking about every single possible way that a person could say no to you with your product. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you haven't tried it for that, you should definitely try it. So the use cases with AI and all the effects that it can have on us align pretty well from what everything you just stated. So being an AI powered tool and having one, first of all, don't beat yourself up if you use it. I think everyone's in the closet about if they use it. Nobody wants to admit that they use it.
It's true.
You're like, is that from AI? No one's like, I'm not telling. So with that statement really quick, I'm going to go off on a tangent, but I want everyone to be mindful. There are software platforms out there that can tell if you're using AI, if you're just copying and pasting. So be mindful of that. And we'll talk about that in a minute too, but I just wanted to throw that back out there. So the AI powered tools, though, they really analyze vast amounts of data to identify promising leads, predicting customer behavior, and personalizing outreach efforts. So leveraging that data-driven insight to target the right prospects at the right time with the right message will definitely be crucial to your business.
Yeah, I love that. Thanks, Angie. AI is also revolutionizing the way we manage customer relationships. Using AI-powered CRM systems can enhance sales productivity and effectiveness by streamlining the processes, automating routine tasks, and providing sales teams with actionable insights to optimize their interactions with customers. I don't have Salesforce anymore because we have an internal. So I don't have an AI-driven CRM because our CRM is internal. I don't know that I'll ever get there. I used to use Salesforce, and they've got now Salesforce Einstein, and I'm like, that is brilliant. Do you have it?
You know what Yeah, so we have Salesforce.
I don't have it.
Also, there's a thing called People AI that's also attached to that. Okay. And so it's another CRM tool. So when you're out prospecting in like LinkedIn and Sales Navigator, and you're clicking on people, it can link all those people into your CRM. It just helps you streamline the process of lead gen, pipeline building. So yeah, the Einstein one, I don't think we have the Einstein one. I think we just have the Salesforce with the People AI attached to it. Yeah, and then Outreach is a platform that helps you get emails and stuff out. So
it'll be so interesting to see how that comes. One thing, and I don't know, one thing we didn't talk about, and I want to go back and just say this really quickly, is that another great place to use it is just for ideas for your social media, right? Like we're running some social media for SalesSheros, and that is newly growing because we're a newer podcast. But like my LinkedIn, I will ask it to actually act as, I'll actually just type right into ChatGPT, act as a, what's the name for someone who runs social media for you when you hire that done?
Social media manager.
Thank you. I'm having a blank.
When we get big, we're going to hire a social media manager.
So you can,
not my favorite thing to do.
Yes. You can ask an AI platform to act as a
Yeah.
social media manager and build you a calendar for your social media so that you have everything in one place. And then there are also AIs that can run your social media. So I don't know how I feel about that yet because I don't know enough about that. But I mean, I use it just for topic generation, like help me with my LinkedIn stay effective. And because I don't want to just be blasting product, I want to be relevant in other areas too. And I want people to get a sense of who I am. So I've used it to help me with that. And I've had a bigger impact on my LinkedIn because of that.
Yeah. And I think it can be really helpful because especially if it's looking, some AI platforms will look at trends, right? And when you're in sales, you want to know what trends are going on so you can target your audience correctly, right? And get your reach out there. So for all of our shares that are selling on social media platforms, are experiencing that digital selling is so challenging. You need these automated tools to help you. Now, I'm not saying go out and spend money on all these automated tools at all. I'm saying research if you're spending so much time on X, then research, how could I spend less time on X? Is there something that can help me? Right. And so or ask your peers in the industry that are succeeding. Hey, what are you using? Like, in our way, who is using a social media AI engine today? Does it work? Like, tell us this, we'll do a post on our Instagram page, and we would love to hear your guys' opinions if you guys are using those, because I think sharing out what's working, what isn't, what platforms you like and don't like, that's how we're all going to help society kind of rule out on the AI world, what is working, what is not working, what's cost effective, what is not, right? We have to share this intel the way AI is sharing its intel with us. So yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up. I couldn't agree with you more on all of that.
Yeah, it really enhances every stage of the sales journey.
Mm-hmm. It absolutely can. So let's not forget how it can help with sales forecasting. So I don't know about you guys, it's not my favorite thing to do, but by predicting the future trends and making informed decisions, the algorithms can analyze historical data, market trends, external factors to help us really accurately forecast our sales. So enabling those sales reps to anticipate demand, allocate resources effectively, and make data-driven decisions to drive growth. So if you're a sales leader listening in, forecasting is huge to you. I know you don't want us out there forecasting with an AI engine, but helping get the idea of all my white space and how I'm going to build my pipeline, that engine's going to help with that.
Yeah, definitely. While AI offers tremendous opportunities for sales professionals, it's essential to approach its adoption ethically and responsibly to ensure that AI is used in a way that benefits both salesperson and customer. Don't use it to be manipulative. That's the whole thing, right? Like, be a real human being as you're selling. Don't use it to manipulate things.
Yeah. And we wrote that out because that was a true statement we wanted to make sure to not miss, right? It's so important to have transparency, accountability, and fairness are total key here. It's important to be transparent about how AI is being used, ensure that it respects privacy and security, and continuously monitor and evaluate its impact to mitigate any bias and ensure equitable outcomes. I think that's our disclaimer on this one for sure, because we really want to make sure that, there's so many people copying and pasting it out there, which is fine if that's what you want to do. But also people want to hear from you. They want to hear your voice. We use it for ideas. We use it to streamline how we're putting our content together. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's us. It's our voice. We're saying what we want to say, right? Yeah. And I think that's what people need to be doing. Don't forget to stay human in those outcomes.
Yeah, human and authentic. Sometimes I have ChatGPT write something out and I'm like, I would never say that. So guess what? Delete. Right? You have to read it because I'll shift words out and shift my words in because I'm like, that would never come out of my mouth ever.
Well, and sometimes people, if they ever saw a post for me, they'd be like, my friends do not care. They will call me up and go like, what? Who posted that? Or have you been hacked? Because you do not talk this way, right? And I think that's kind of the fun part too, is like your peers are going to call you out. So save yourself the embarrassment, and don't just copy the clipboard and paste out what ChatGPT says. Remember, their data is old, right? It's from 2022. Maybe get a Encyclopedia Britannica if you need some real historical knowledge. I don't know. Maybe we can bring back Encyclopedia Britannicas off of this one.
I
But
still
no.
have them on the shelves at my mom's, so we're gonna have to pull. Yes, they cut.
What?
Yeah, we have them. We do. We cut my
I'm
grandpa's.
coming over. We're
Yes.
taking a picture.
Yes.
I've
We
got to
have
get a
those.
picture with it.
Yeah, it's so funny. And they're beautiful black leather bound with gold. They're actually very pretty. I'm like, okay, I'm so glad we didn't get rid of these when I had the inkling to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with the National Geographic. So my dad had almost every National Geographic ever made. And when he passed away, we remember going through stuff and they were all just stacked in a closet. I mean, amazing ones, just absolutely amazing. Some that had like Playboy centerfolds on the cover because it was such a big deal. It was a big topic of conversation that they made a whole National Geographic conversation around it. And so I remember going through there going, do we just keep the ones that are our birth years, like 1972? Like they went back old. Maybe they'll be worth something. So I remember having this box of it and he passed away and I was going through like, okay, maybe the oldest ones, they'll be worth something. So I recycled all the newer ones. I kept all the old ones. I took them down somewhere and the guy was so kind. He's like, what are you going to do with these? I said, well, I was hoping they could be worth something. He's like, no, they're not worth anything. And I was like, seriously? Not even this like one from 1968, I think it was from. And he's like, no, it's just a publication. So I'm sure there are some National Geographics that are worth a lot of money, but the ones that we had, that my father owned, rest in peace, Dad, everything you had was not lucrative financially for us. And here we are on SalesSheros today.
That is so funny. Their photography was so beautiful, I thought. And I mean, yeah, really beautiful. So there you have it, SalesSheros. AI is transforming the sales landscape, empowering sales professionals with data-driven insights and automation to drive growth and enhance customer experiences.
Absolutely. Thank you guys all for tuning in to today's episode. Please do not forget to subscribe to our podcast on Apple and Spotify for more empowering insights. But until next time, keep embracing innovation, shining bright, and SalesSheros, happy selling.